What's going on, everybody? Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com. Hope all is well wherever you are. We hope you're happy, safe, healthy, and that you are enjoying a weekend full of sporting action. We've got the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, the Kentucky Derby, the Premier League, the CJ Cup on the PGA Tour. Of course, we're also still reacting to all of the action, all the festivities from last week's NFL draft. That's what happens in the first weekend of May, which is where we're at on the calendar. Do want to say hello, tip of the hat to all of the new subscribers here on the most subscribed to individual team channel across all of the SB Nation universe, the Blogging the Boys YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed yet, what the hell are you waiting for? Please consider subscribing. Those things help us out a lot. If you like what I do, obviously you can check out my work at bloggingtheboys.com. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or Threads at RJOcho, as you see down below, or you can subscribe right here. We're still working on figuring out a podcast solution / future / whatever. But in the meantime, if you like what I do, this is the place to get it. The Blogging the Boys YouTube channel. We've got videos coming out every single week. So if you want to subscribe, that'd be great. If you want to turn on notifications, that'd be great. If you want to like the videos, that'd be great. If you want to comment along, that would be great as well. Today, we are here to discuss something very specific, and that is the plan for the Dallas Cowboys. The plan. All right. Now, I know there's a lot of you who think you know what the plan is. The Cowboys are clearly tanking. The Cowboys are clearly going all in, whatever. We've heard it all. We've discussed it all. I don't think that we know what the plan is with regards to the season. I think we have a better idea, obviously, now that the draft is behind us. What with the Cowboys drafting and selecting Tyler Guyton and Cooper Beebe, right? They're clearly remodeling the offensive line. The plan that we're talking about today is as it relates to compensatory picks. Now, what is a compensatory pick, RJ? I'm kind of newer in my NFL fandom, or I've been here for a while and I've heard people throw this term out, but I've always been afraid to ask. Here's what you have to know. The NFL has a formula for something called compensatory picks. Now, they do not publicize this formula. It's in the vault, like the Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast back in the day. And what it basically means is every NFL team obviously loses players in free agency. They obviously, unless they're the Cowboys, also sign players in free agency. If you lose players, the more you lose, rather, the more likely you are to receive we'll call it restitution for those players. You're more likely to receive compensatory picks because those players left. And obviously, if a player is going to leave, if you're wanting a compensatory pick, you want them to sign a big contract because that helps. That helps the all-secret formula. You want them to play really well. You want them to play a lot because that helps the compensatory formula. Consider it a threshold of sorts that you want to meet. And the more there is kind of hanging on the bone, so to speak, the better the compensatory pick that you ultimately receive as an NFL team. Now, NFL.com wrote something this week about how the Dallas Cowboys are going to, at least based on their projections, lead the NFL in compensatory picks in 2025. Now, to be fair, to be totally precise, they're projected to be tied with the Baltimore Ravens for the lead, but we don't care about the Baltimore Ravens. Let's take a look at what NFL.com had to say. As you can see, they're expected, the Cowboys, to receive, or projected, I should say, to receive 4 total compensatory picks. That is actually the limit. If you look at overthecap.com, and we've done this in the past, they have the Cowboys projected to receive 5 compensatory picks, one in the 7th round for Dante Fowler. There you see, obviously, one of the key free agent losses by the team. But there is a limit that every team can receive. So you get the 4 best ones. Obviously, for the Cowboys, that would be 3 in the 5th round and 1 in the 6th. In case you're curious, the Ravens are currently projected to receive 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and 2 in the 6th. So the Cowboys haul a little bit better. Key free agent losses, again, these are the players that are factoring into the comp formula for Dallas. Dorrance Armstrong, Tyler Biadasz, Tony Pollard, of course, Tyron Smith, and Dante Fowler Jr. So in a weird way, the Washington Commanders are sort of going to directly be responsible for the Cowboys receiving some draft capital for the 2025 NFL draft. You can also see here that NFL.com had some fun with the fact that Dallas loves the compensatory pick vibe, that they have added a minimum of 2 comp picks per year since 2021. The Cowboys really do like this. And it was a few years ago that these things ultimately became tradable by NFL teams. Now, they're not tradable until you have them. And considering these are still projections for every NFL team, they will not be released in actuality until after the upcoming season is over, even after the Super Bowl and all that stuff. So you can't trade them until you own them. It stands to reason that the Cowboys are going to have 10 draft selections come the 2025 NFL draft. Now, I know what you're thinking, RJ, why are we going to have 10? There are 7 picks because you have 1 in every single round. There are 7 rounds. And So that's 7, and we're supposed to receive 4 compensatory picks. 7 and 4 is 11, I thought. Well, don't forget the Cowboys, when they traded down with the Detroit Lions in the first round of this year's draft and ultimately selected Tyler Guyton with that 29th overall pick. While, yes, the Cowboys did receive pick number 73 in return, that ultimately became Cooper Beebe, obviously, the Cowboys did send Detroit their 7th round draft pick next year. So as it stands at the moment, this is always subject to change. I'm putting this video together, obviously, the weekend of May the 4th, and obviously May the 4th be with you. It's May the 3rd as I record this, just, for total context. But it'll go out on the 4th. I'm always honest with you. We like to be honest around here. I like to pull the curtain back. Anyway, so the Cowboys currently do not have their original 7th round draft pick for next year. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then the 4 compensatory picks obviously takes us all the way to 10. 10 draft selections the Cowboys projected to have for next year. They could always, move a pick in the trade or, whatever, acquire more capital, whatever the case may be. It is interesting because the Cowboys are projected to have so many compensatory picks, and because we know this information ahead of time, a lot of us, myself included, I say a lot of us, people who talk about the Cowboys, people who like to interact with people about the Cowboys on the internet, which is what we're doing right now, we thought the Cowboys would be more active in the draft that just finished with regards to future capital. Now, again, the Cowboys cannot trade away picks that aren't technically theirs yet in terms of the comp picks, but we thought that the Cowboys might trade away their own 5th round draft pick or their own 6th round draft pick because they expect and anticipate to pick some up next year by way of compensatory picks. Now, for what it's worth, the comp picks are behind the actual NFL draft order, so they're not as good as your original picks. But still, it made sense that Dallas would be a little bit more aggressive if they felt the need to, but maybe they clearly did not feel the need to, except for sending their 7th round draft pick to Detroit in the move down that ultimately saw them take Tyler Guyton. So 10 total picks, the expectation, the projection for the Cowboys as of May of 2024 for the 2025 NFL draft. I should mention something, that the Cowboys have signed 4 external free agents so far since the offseason began. Obviously, Eric Kendricks and Royce Freeman, we knew those happened before the NFL draft, but you see the 2 names that we've put with asterisks next to them. That's Zeke Elliott and Damian Wilson. Those players the Cowboys signed this past week, but they did so after the deadline passed, where NFL veterans of their stature are no longer factored into the comp formula. Because the Cowboys signed Zeke Elliott and Damian Wilson when they did, even though it was for minimal money, they do not negatively weigh down the compensatory formula that the Cowboys are obviously living and operating within. So they won't lose anybody or any draft picks in the comp formula because of the signings of Zeke Elliott and Damian Wilson. Consider that in the past week, the Cowboys matched their total external free agent signing for the entire offseason as a whole. This is the way they like to do things, and that can be and is frustrating a lot of the time, but it's why it is not out of the realm of possibility at all to imagine the Cowboys signing another external free agent or another couple of external free agents, whether between now and training camp or after training camp starts. It just stands to reason that because that deadline has passed, they may consider doing it, but that's where things stand as they relate to comp picks. If you have not yet, please consider subscribing here to the Blogging the Boys YouTube channel, where I discuss the Dallas Cowboys all the time. Who am I? My name is RJ Ochoa. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or Threads at RJ Ochoa. If you want to send me an email, you can do so, rj.ochoa@sbnation.com. Or if you want to leave a comment down below, I will do my very best to get to those. Also, for now, I'm going to bid you adieu, and I'm going to go check on the pulled pork that I have on the smoker here that I'm making on Friday, May the 3rd. I've been talking about how I'm going to build my son's swing set. That got pushed to Saturday. So May the 4th is going to be swing set day around the Ochoa household for me. So if you have any advice, by the time you're watching this, I'm probably very frustrated with the way the whole thing has gone down. So hopefully that does not wind up being the case. But thanks so much to those of you who have joined us. Again, the new subscribers, we really appreciate you making us a part of your lives and giving us some of your time. We know that it is the most elite resource you have at your disposal, time. And so thank you for giving us some of it. We promise to continue to earn it. Let's go ahead and let's get out of here and have yourselves a great weekend. And I can't wait to see you next week and talk more about America's team. We'll see you next time, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.